Greetings, friends, and happy Pizza Friday to you. It's Friday, the 8th of July, 2002, and today is Double Masters 2022 release day. So, what I've got here is a wonderful booster box of draft packs. We've got a couple of release promos. Let's take a look at those. These release promos are brought to you by my friendly LGS. We've got Weathered Wayfarer. Looks like it's a rare. These are foil, by the way. For a white, you get a 1/1 creature human nomad cleric. It has white and tap. Search your library for a land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Activate only if an opponent controls more lands than you. Wow, that's a pretty strong ability. For 1 white, you get, it's conditional ramp, but it's pretty good ramp. If you're playing basically against any green players at all, this is a good card for you. Yeah, even if you're not playing against green players, I mean, you could put these guys in and probably do okay. 1 white for 1/1 isn't bad as it is. It's also a human, which could matter, and a cleric, which matters less but could also matter. The other release promo we've got is Bring to Light. For blue, green, and 3, you get a sorcery with Converge. Search your library for a creature, instant, or sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast this spell. Exile that card, then shuffle. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Very cool. This is a sorcery, so we don't really have to worry about timing restrictions. But in any case, if you did find a way to cast this faster than sorcery, it says you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. That is an effect that is part of the resolution of Bring to Light, so you don't have to worry about timing on that one either. So if you find a way to cast this during your opponent's turn, and you pull out a creature, you can cast that creature right away. In fact, you have to, because it says you may. So if you don't cast it right away, it's gone, but you don't have to pay its costs, so it seems like you'd want to do that. Anyway, another good card. These are good cards. Usually, promos, they're not that great, in my opinion, but these ones seem to have found a way to be pretty good. All right, so putting those aside, the main event, we've got a Double Masters 2022 draft box, nice and sealed. Got the Wizard cellophane on there. Taking a look now. All right. As somebody once said. I think that was McConaughey, right? What do we got here? Oh, what is this guy? He looks cool, man. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty cool. Oh, we've got the Draft Archetypes card here, and it looks like we have 3-color environment. That's pretty cool. Flicker Value, Graveyard Midrange, Classic Jund. Ooh, classic Jund. I should have worn my Tarmogoyf shirt. Heroic Aggro, Big Ramp, Graveyard Growth, Prowess, +1/+1 counters, Midrange Ramp, and Sacrifice. Ooh, Jeskai. No, that's not Jeskai. What is that? Mardu Sacrifice. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, I don't think we need to worry about the draft archetypes, but I'm just going to keep them right here so we can refer to them if needed. And I think what I'll do is I have not seen any of the cards. I mean, I've seen some of the previews, the money cards and stuff. I have not seen the uncommons or the commons. So what I'm going to do is let's just take a look. I'm not going to look at the commons right away. I'll probably do that after the stream. Definitely look at the rares and any foils we pull out. Uncommons, I'll have a look at them and see if they're interesting. Might as well. Okay, let's get started. I'm excited. This is the first Masters set that I've cracked in a while. Spider token. Oh, the Cryptic Spires. So yeah, so this is the mana fixture for the 3-color environment that we have. As you create your deck, circle the 2 of the colors below. Cryptic Spires enter the battlefield tapped. Add 1 mana of either of the circled colors. So it's a mana fixing dual land. And I believe that there's 1 in every pack, which is kind of interesting. By kind of interesting, I mean not that interesting. Oh, we got a foil Muldrifter, a foil Grapple with the Past, foil Muldrifter. And it looks like we're in reverse order here. So we've got Atla Palani, Nest Tender. We've got 4 white, green, red, and 1, 4 total mana. You have a 2/3 legendary creature human shaman. Create a 0/1 green egg creature token with defender for 2 and a tap. Whenever an egg you control dies, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So yeah, a couple things spring to mind for this guy. I mean, obviously in the limited environment, you're looking for making eggs with him. But in Commander, this feels like a card that would do well with, what are they called? The things that have all creature types. And there's even an enchantment that gives everybody all creature types. I can't remember. I'm blaming, hey Sona, how's it going? I'm blaming my sleep deprivation. Anyway, if you make everything an egg, then whenever one dies, you can get another thing. That seems okay. CDC Brood Tyrant for blue, green, black, and 1. You get a 3/3 legendary creature Naga Shaman. Whenever CDC Brood Tyrant enters the battlefield or attacks, mill 3 cards. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So a Sultai creature commander. Pretty cool. Alright, we got Extract from Darkness. Seems like an old blue-black thingy. Graveblade Marauder and Sidraxis Spectre. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't think, just playing a little Arkham Asylum. Oh, nice. Is that the, what's it called? Oh man, I am just so sleep deprived. I can't think of anything. Is it one of those games that's like plays like a book, like one of those story games? I like those ones. I can't remember what they're called. Ooh, the Cat Dragon token. I think we like that. Cryptic Spires, and a foil Phyrexian Altar. That doesn't suck. Sacrifice a creature. Add 1 mana of any color. It's only slightly bent, slightly bowed. Hissing Iguanar, a full art. Borderless Grand Arbiter Augustine the Fourth. For I remember this guy. This guy's from Ravnica, right? For blue, white, and 2, you get a 2/3 legendary creature human advisor. White spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Blue spells you cast 1 less to cast. Spells your opponents cast cost 1 more to cast. So it's a stacks dude. I like it. Batman game where you have to use detective skills to complete. Oh, I think I've heard of that. Yeah, that sounds cool. I know, right? Food Chain. I think that's good. That's a good thing, right? Food Chain for green and 2. You get an enchantment. Exile a creature you control. Add X mana of any 1 color, where X is 1 plus that exiled creature's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. Okay. Stagger Shock. Seeing that. Hydrogen Falconer and a borderless Rakdos Carnarium. Oh, that's one of those lands where you have to return a land to your hand, but it gives you 2 mana when you tap it. So it's a ramp using your existing lands. That's pretty good. I remember those lands. I can't remember the last time I saw them. It's been a while. Okay. Bear token. Cryptic Spires. Foil Thrive and Arachnus Web. Abzan Ascendancy and Shattergang Brothers. So Abzan Ascendancy is green, black, and white. For an enchantment, when Abzan Ascendancy enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 white spirit token, creature token with flying. That's cool. Shattergang Brothers for green, red, black, and 1. The borderless. So Sona says, I love the borderless cards. They are quite lovely. You get a 3/3 legendary creature, Goblin Artificer. For 2 and a black, and sacrifice a creature. Each other player sacrifices a creature. For 2 and a red, sacrifice an artifact. Each other player sacrifices an artifact. For 2 and a green, sacrifice an enchantment. Each other player sacrifices an enchantment. Alright. Biogenic Upgrade, Golgari Rot Farm, that's another one of those lands. And Skin Render. You know, I have very, very good feelings about this card. I used to play it quite often. Skin Render. When Skin Render enters the battlefield, put 3 -1/-1 counters on target creature. It is 4 total mana for a 3/3 and -3/-3 on one of the opponent's creatures. Yeah, hopefully if they have a creature, otherwise you're putting it on yourself, and that kind of sucks. Just bigger. Okay, next up. I like Skin Render. I have fond memories of that card. Fond memories. Fond memories, Boar, and Cryptic Spires. The foil Azorius Chancery, and a foil Lightning Helix. Wow, that's a strong card, folks. Lightning Helix. Don't let you skip that one. Glen Elandra Liege. So for hybrid, blue black, and 1, you get a creature Fairy Knight. That's 4 total mana. A 2/3 creature Fairy Knight, flying. Other blue creatures you control get +1/+1, and other black creatures you control get +1/+1. Very, very strong limited card. And Thraximundar, yes, I remember this card. For red, black, and blue, and 4 mana, so seven total mana, you get a 6/6 legendary creature Zombie Assassin with haste. Whenever Thraximundar attacks, defending player sacrifices a creature. Whenever a player sacrifices a creature, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Thraximundar. So, good sacrifice commander. Good limited bomb. Goblin Banneret. Conclave Mentor, and Arachnus Spinner. Ooh, is a charm. Okay. Some of the commons are spicy too. Really? Can you give me a list of those spicy commons so I can take a look for them? Because I've just been skipping them. Drake, Cryptic Spires, Sensor Splicer, and Winged Coatl. Creekwood Liege. For hybrid black, green, and 1, so 4 total mana, you get a 2/2 creature Horror. Other black creatures you control get +1/+1. Other green creatures you control get +1/+1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may create a 1/1 black and green worm creature token. So yeah, that makes that a 3/3 with this in play. That's pretty good. Mathis Fiend Seeker. There are alt arts in the common slot. Shadowborn Apostle is the highest common at $3-ish. There are the alt arts in the common slot. Okay, good to know. How do I know that they're alt art? Are they like a just special treatment? So Mathis, Fiend Seeker. For black, white, and red, you get a 3/3 legendary creature Vampire with Menace. At the beginning of your end step, put a bounty counter on target creature an opponent controls. Full art borderless. Oh, okay. For as long as that creature has a bounty counter on it, it has, when this creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. For as long as that creature, when this creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. Interesting. Bear's Companion, Misfire Adept, Prowess card, and Sidrax's Spectre. Unearth. Okay, well, I guess that means I will be looking through the commons, at least for the full art borderless. Yeah. No, the borderless alt arts. I don't see any yet. That's an enchantment creature. Oh, look at that. We have Seeker of the Way and Kasali Pride Mage. Cool. Well, that's good to know. I guess I will set those aside. I'll just look for those later. What I will do is I will look up the commons that have the most value in a bit and see if I have any of those. I guess I should put the foils that actually have a value on the mountain plane view, huh? Let's do that next time. Elemental and Cryptic Spires, Goblin Banneret, and Fireblade Artist. Fireblade Artist, I remember that card. Sensei's Divining Top. Ah, yes, the Shenanigans card. So for 1 generic mana, you get an artifact. 1 generic mana to look at the top 3 cards of your library and then put them back in any order. Tap to draw a card, then put Sensei's Divining Top on top of its owner's library. So yeah, Shenanigans. Varina Lich Queen for black, blue, and white, and 1, so 4 total mana. You get a 4/4 legendary creature, Zombie Wizard. Whenever you attack with 1 or more zombies, draw that many cards, then discard that many cards. You gain that much life. Wow. For 2, and exile 2 cards from your graveyard, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. So this is like Turbo Zombies? Okay, Surreal Memoir, Tower Gargoyle, and Young Pyromancer. And Pyromancer is pretty good. Full art commons in that one. The borderless commons. You know what? I'm just going to take a moment to separate these out and put my spicy foils out. Let's put the spicy foils out. So far, we've got one spicy foil, the Borderless Foil Phyrexian Altar. So that's pretty good, I think. All right, next pack. Now, this is a box that I bought at my LGS. I paid $220 for it, I think, $220. I'm not looking to get my value back. I like cracking packs, but you know, if I do get some spicy pulls that I can sell, so be it. I'll be selling those probably on the Lotus Council Discord, and those who know me know that I just usually give really pretty deep discounts for market value. Expires. We have Call to the Feast, Bloodflow Connoisseur, and Aminato the Fate Shifter. So this is the first reprint of Aminato. Aminato was a pre-con commander in, was it Magic 2020? I can't remember, but it's easy to look up. Aminato the Fate Shifter is black 2018, thank you, Sona 2018. Black, blue, and white for a 3 loyalty legendary planeswalker of type Aminato. For +1, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. So you're just mixing it up there, I guess. For -1, exile another target permanent you own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. So flicker it. -6, choose left or right. Each player gains control of all non-land permanents other than Aminato the Fate Shifter, controlled by the next player in the chosen direction. And Aminato the Fate Shifter can be your commander. So very, very tricksy commander. I like it. Pithing Needle. For 1 generic mana, you get an artifact. As Pithing Needle enters the battlefield, choose a card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So basically, like, screw you, Planeswalkers. Scale Blessing, Livewire Lash, and Simic Growth Chamber. And any full art spiciness? Yes. Ooh, Monastery Swift Spear. That looks pretty. Wish I could shine that Phyrexian Altar. I wonder if I can. Kind of, sort of, huh? Not really. Sorry about that. Alright, next pack. Spider, Cryptic Spires. Summer Bloom, and Might of Old Krosa. Gifts Ungiven. Gifts Ungiven is an instant for blue and 3. You got 2 Jaces on there. Search your library for up to 4 cards with up to 4 cards with different names and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand. That's good. Impervious Great Worm. Wow. One of the biggest creatures in Magic for green, and 7, so 10 total mana. You get a 16/16 creature worm with Convoke and Indestructible. So this is like a tokens bomb, right? All it needs is trample. There are ways to give it trample. I like that card. If you like big beefy creatures, that is the creature for you. We got a full art Mentor of the Meek. All right, let me just let's do this way. Full art Mentor of the Meek, like so. I know, I probably don't need this. You know what, just keep it in. You know, I'm always like, this is my metagame, is trying to figure out how to structure the playmat as I'm cracking packs. Any other, oh, we have an Unearth. Oh, that's pretty. Full art, common Unearth. Push down the trash can. Egg and Cryptic Spires. Firemind Vessel and Forbidden Alchemy, and a full art Vidalcan Orrery. Vidalcan Orrery is for 4 generic mana. You get an artifact. You may cast spells as though they had flash. Note that spells means anything that you can put on the stack, so not just instants and sorceries, but creatures and artifacts as well. That's a good one. I'm not separating the full art ones, am I? Leonin Arbiter. Leonin Arbiter for 1 and a white. You get a 2/2 creature cat cleric, so it's a bear, it's a cat bear. Players can't search libraries. Any player may pay 2 for that player to ignore this effect until end of turn. So tax. Okay. Devoted Druid, Bounty of the Luxa, and a Borderless Terminate. You know what I should be doing? I'm going to move into our next one. Okay. What do we have the seal of approval for on that one? Was it the was it that guy? The full art, the Borderless Vedalken Orrery? Yeah, that's pretty good. 4 Cryptic Spires, Devoted Druid, foil, and Skeleton Archer. Ooh, I like Skeleton Archer. Remember that guy, he's good. Disciple of the Ring. So for blue, and 3, you get a 3/4 creature human wizard with 1 and exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Choose 1. There are 4 modes. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2. Disciple of the Ring gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Tap target creature or untap target creature. So for a Spellslinger deck, this provides some additional utility from the graveyard, and that's pretty good. I like it. Weathered Wayfarer. This is the regular version of our release promo. We talked about that a little bit already. We've got River Hoopoe, a borderless blood artist. Hoopoe, River Hoopoe. I like that one. I like River Hoopoe. It's good. Blood artist, which is a uncommon. Just so many. Yeah. I'm trying to keep the Lotus Council in view as well. It's just there's too many categories here. I'm a categorizer if you hadn't noticed. Washout. Deranged Assistant. Yes, Sona was sealing of approval the Orrery. Fairy Rogue, Cryptic Spires. We have Washout and Idolite's Ending. And our first rare is Kedirect Leviathan. For blue, and 6, you get a 5/5 creature, Leviathan. When Kedirect Leviathan enters the battlefield, return all other non-land permanents to their owner's hands, and it has Unearth for blue and 6. Pretty good bomb. Next rare is Intet the Dreamer for red, blue, green, and 3, so 6 total mana. You get a 6/6 legendary creature, Dragon, with flying. Whenever Intet the Dreamer deals combat damage to a player, you may pay blue and 2. If you do, exile the top card of your library face down. You may look at that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may play that card without paying its mana cost for as long as Intet remains on the battlefield. So in this case, you do have to pay attention to timing restrictions. Still, pretty good. We got Gruul Turf, Blazing Hellhound, and Summer Bloom are the uncommons. And we have a full art Burning Tree Emissary. I keep saying full art, but it's really borderless. I guess full art just means it doesn't have any words on it. Okay, next up. I gotta admit, this is giving me a lot of dopamine hits seeing these really old, powerful cards. Bear, it's a 4/4 though, that's weird, right? Got a Mana Leak foil and a Tuskar Captain. We have Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh. Okay, so I recently opened a box of Hour of Devastation, and yeah, isn't this the one that this is the Planeswalker in that box, right? So I opened one of these for one of our Discord members, and now it looks like I've got one as well for Grixis and 4, so 7 total mana. You get a 7 loyalty legendary Planeswalker of type Bolas. Sona thinks so too. For +2, you get target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. And yes, that's the +2, which is what I believe I said when I opened it the first time. +1, each opponent exiles 2 cards from their hand. -4, Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh deals 7 damage to target opponent, creature an opponent controls, or Planeswalker an opponent controls. And -12, exile each non-land permanent your opponents control. So wipe all the things. That's pretty good. And we've got Darksteel Plate. Darksteel Plate. For 3 generic mana, you get an artifact equipment with Indestructible, and equipped creature has Indestructible, and you have a 2 equipped. This is, I believe this is the first reprint of this card since the original Mirrodin, which is great, because this is a great card. Might be the Mirrodin block, though. It doesn't be Mirrodin. Okay, Mistmetal Witch. So Bant Charm, Body Double, and Mistmetal Witch. And no full art comments. Sorry, no borderless comments. Other than the dual deck reprint, right. Right. So it's keeping me honest. We've got a Drake and a Cryptic Spires. We have a foil Crackling Doom. A foil Momentary Blink. And, ooh, Cedrus the Traitor King. A mythic rare for Grixis and 3, so 6 total mana. You get a 5/5 legendary creature, Zombie Warrior. Each creature card in your graveyard has an Earth, 2, and a black. Nice. Got some serious like graveyard synergies going in this set. Judith the Scourge Diva. So for red, black, and 1, 3 total mana, you get a 2/2 legendary creature, Human Shaman. Other creatures you control get +1/+0, and whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Judith the Scourge Diva deals 1 damage to any target. Decent. Nephalia Smuggler, Jeskai Charm, and Selesnia's Sanctuary are the uncommons in this pack. And no full art commons. Boo. I mean, I'm seriously, I don't care, because these are some spicy things. You know, I've been cracking packs of Magic since 1993, and honestly, it has not gotten any easier. Zombie Cryptic Spires, Spark Mage's Gambit, and Dark Duel Oracle. Dragon Lord Dramoka. So mythic rare for white, green, and 4, so 6 total mana. You get a 5/7 legendary creature, Elder Dragon. This spell can't be countered. It has flying and lifelink, and your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So if you like to cast spells unmolested, this is the card for you. Rurik Thar the Unbowed. Unbowed. For green, red, and 4, so 6 total mana, you get a 6/6 legendary creature, Ogre Warrior. With Vigilance and Reach, Rurik Thar the Unbowed attacks each combat if able. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, Rurik Thar deals 6 damage to that player. So this is really a creature commander. That's pretty good. We've got Glory Scale Viashino, a Borderless Lightning Bolt. That is pretty. Vampiric Rites. No borderless comment. I do like that lightning bolt. It's really pretty. Zombie Cryptic Spires, Coiling Oracle, and 10th District Legionnaire. We have Dax Duplicate. So Dax Duplicate for red, blue, and 2, you get a 0/0 creature shapeshifter. That's what I was trying to think of earlier, shapeshifters. You may have Dax Duplicate enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it has haste and Dethrone. Dethrone means whenever it attacks, the player with the most life or tied for most life put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. Second rare is Villainous Wealth. So for blue, green, black, and X, you get a sorcery. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of their library. You may cast any number of spells with mana value X or less from among them without paying their mana costs. And again, since you may cast as part of the resolution of this spell, you can ignore timing restrictions, and those are cast immediately upon the resolution of this spell. So this spell resolves, and those will go on the stack. Civic Saber, Orzhov Pontiff, and Flickered Wisp. I gotta love those blank cards. Okay. Next up, I like to crack packs. I like to crack packs. Zombie, Cryptic Spires, Titan Strength, Ether Snipe, Ashenmoor Liege. So for hybrid red black, red black, red black, and 1, so 4 total mana, you get a 4/1. Creature Elemental Knight. Other black creatures you control get +1/+1. Other red creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever Ashenmoor Liege becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, that player loses 4 life. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's almost like what's the Ward? Almost like Ward. Looks like there's a whole cycle of these guys in this set. Phyrexian Tyranny. For Grixis, you get an enchantment. Whenever a player draws a card, that player loses 2 life unless they pay 2. So tax. Spider Spawning. Oh, that's a fun card. Abzan Charm and Go for the Throat are the uncommons. And no full art. Commons. All right, Egg, Cryptic Spires. We've got a foil borderless bloodbraid elf. I mean, where do I put that? There's just not enough space. Glowspore Shaman, a borderless Teferi's Protection. That one feels good, folks. So for white and 2, I love this new art too, that's his daughter, you get an instant. Until your next turn, your life total can't change and you gain protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. Exile Teferi's Protection. They phase in before you untap during your untap step. So that's the next turn. Revelark for white and 4. You get a 4/3 creature elemental with flying. When Revelark leaves the battlefield, return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and it has Evoke for white and 5. Our uncommons for this pack are Sultai Soothsayer, a borderless Boros Garrison, which is one of those lands, and Domestication. And a borderless Thought Scour. For 1 blue, target player mills 2 cards, draw a card. I mean, that's just clean fun. Good, clean fun, as they say. I got a Boar from Cryptic Spires, Heroic Reinforcements, and a Wingsteed Rider. Smothering Tithe. For white and 3, you get an enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If that player doesn't, you create a treasure token. Do you pay the 2? Do you pay the 2? Do you pay the 2? So ramp for white. And Kambal, Console of Allocation. So for black, white, and 1, you get a 2/3 legendary creature Human Advisor. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain life. Getting some good hits. Yeah, I think so too. This is a good box. Cold Steel Heart, Azorius Chancery, and Eternal Witness. And a borderless Spell Pierce. I gotta say, having borderless commons, that makes me feel good. I mean, it just looks so pretty. Those borderless, you're right, man. Those borderless cards are amazing. Boar, Cryptic Spires, a foil Glory Scale of Vashino, and Strands of Undeath, and Arjun the Shifting Flame for red, blue, and 4, so 6 total mana. I'm playing out your Pauper decks, no doubt. You get a 5/5 legendary creature, Sphinx Wizard, with flying. Whenever you cast a spell, put the cards in your hand on the bottom of your library in any order, then draw that many cards. Wow, that's pretty cool. So card draw, we like card draw. And our second rare is Lavalanche for green, red, black, and X. You get a sorcery. Lavalanche deals X damage to target player or planeswalker, and each creature that player or planeswalker's controller controls. Wow. Labyrinth Champion, Rancor, and a borderless, is it Boilerworks? Borderless, Boy, that works. Brindle, no borderless commons. Fairy Rogue, Cryptic Spires, Relief Captain, and Seeker's Square. We have a borderless Assassin's Trophy, very good card. Green and black. For an instant, you destroy target permanent an opponent controls. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. I think that's a reasonable trade. I don't know how you feel about that. For now, Tarka's Command. Green and red for an instant, choose 2. Thanks for... So Sona just gave us the seal of approval and named Assassin's Trophy. Because there is lag, so I don't know exactly what he's talking about until it pops down. Atarka's Command. For an instant, you choose 2. Your opponents can't gain life this turn. Atarka's Command deals 3 damage to each opponent, or you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield, or creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain reach until the end of the turn. Dees. Crackling Doom. A borderless Dimir Aqueduct. A Wall of Omens. Okay, 4 packs to go. Zombie, Cryptic Spires, foil Vampire Sovereign, and foil Antioch Bondakin, and a mythic Seasoned Pyromancer. You get, for red, and 1, you get a creature, a 2/2 creature, Human Shaman. When Seasoned Pyromancer enters the battlefield, discard 2 cards, then draw 2 cards. For each non-land card discarded this way, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. For red, and 3, and exile Seasoned Pyromancer from your graveyard, create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. Papa Peasy. And Twin Flame, for 1 and a red, you get a sorcery with Strive. This spell costs 2 and a red more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target creatures you control. For each of them, create a token that's a copy of that creature except it has haste. Exile those tokens at the beginning of the next end step. That's okay. We have a full art Inquisition of Kozilek, Heroic Reinforcements, and Unburial Rites. Full art Phyrexian Ultra, the first pack was pretty good. Drake, Cryptic Spires, Monastery Mentor, foil, Monastery Mentor, for 2 and a white, you get a 2/2 creature Human Monk with Prowess, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with Prowess. Excellent. Foil. I don't really have any fun foils over here. I'm gonna do this later. So, and then a foil Pirate's Pillage, Figure of Destiny. Wow, that's a lot of text for red. For hybrid red-white, 1 total mana. You get a 1/1 creature Kithkin. For 1 hybrid, Figure of Destiny becomes a Kithkin spirit with base power and toughness 2/2. For 3 hybrid mana, if Figure of Destiny is a spirit, it becomes a Kithkin Spirit Warrior with base power and toughness 4/4. For 6 hybrid mana, if Figure of Destiny is a warrior, it becomes a Kithkin Spirit Warrior Avatar with base power and toughness 8/8, flying, and first strike. Goodness. Pull from Tomorrow. Blue, and X. Instant. Draw X cards, then discard a card. Dragon Arch. League Guildmage Prophetic Bolt. Full arts. We have 2 packs left. Egg, Cryptic Spires. Surgical Extraction, foil. It's pretty dark. I like this card. For 1 Phyrexian mana, you get, it's a black Phyrexian mana, you get choose target card in the graveyard other than a basic land card. Search its owner's owner's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that card and exile them. Then that player shuffles. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Abzan Falconer. Carador Ghost Chieftain. It's a mythic for green, black, white, and 5, so 8 total mana. You get a 3/4 legendary creature, Centaur Spirit. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard, and then once during each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from your graveyard. That's pretty cool. Second rare is Wilt Leaf Liege. So for hybrid green-white, hybrid, and 1, so 4 total mana, you get a 4/4 creature elf knight. Other green creatures you control get +1/+1. Other white creatures you control get +1/+1. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Wilt Leaf Liege, put it onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. Firemind Vessel, Sprouting Thrinax, and Arachnus Spinner are the uncommons. And we have a Borderless Coiling Oracle with art by RKF. I mean, that's a Richard Kane Ferguson art right there. So pretty. I'm glad to see him back in Magic. This is a good step for him to jump in. That is a great piece of art. RKF has been in. RKF is one of the iconic Magic artists. I think we had this conversation on the Lotus Council Discord, but his work is so unique and has decorated some of the most iconic cards in Magic. Maybe not cards that very many people remember, but they were certainly iconic for their time. Fairy Rogue, Cryptic Spires. This is our last pack. Agony Warp and Webweaver Changeling. Our first rare is Dromoka's Command. For white and green, you get an instant. Choose 2. Prevent all damage. Target instant or sorcery spell would deal this turn. That's good. Target player sacrifices an enchantment. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. That's a good card. Second rare, Legion's Initiative. For white and red, you get an enchantment. Red creatures you control get +1/+0. White creatures you control get +0/+1. And for red, white, exile Legion's Initiative, exile all creatures you control. At the beginning of the next combat, return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control, and those creatures gain haste until end of turn. So this says, just blink them and then attack. That's good stuff. Breakthrough, Trello Preparations, and a full Borderless Bloodbraid Elf. And that's going to do it for this box. So I think we got some pretty good hits there. Oh, look at that. There's a foil and a non-foil. Bloodbraid Elf. We got some pretty good hits, I thought. Let's just take a look here. We got Borderless. All these Borderless uncommons, Borderless commons. That's good. We did get some Borderless rares. Let me just pop those out here. Why do I do this upside down? Because I'm used to sorting rarity upside down. My bad. There he is. We got 4. None of them were mythic, but we do have Assassin's Trophy, Vedalken Orrery, and Teferi's Protection. Borderless. Those are nice. We got these Borderless Borderless foils. Let's look at foil rares. Monastery Mentor is a mythic. Oh, did I start stacking it on the wrong side? Oops. Make sure I didn't get any other non-token, yeah, there they are, see? I sure I switched them up. You didn't tell me, Sona, that I switched up the order there. Scoop the rotation. Okay, well, there's no rares in there. No problem. And we've got these foil rares, Monastery Mentor and Surgical Extraction. Let's look at our mythics. I think we got a decent box here, fellas. Boys and girls, monkeys and squirrels. Yeah. Got some mythics here. It's pretty good. And then we've got a bunch of rares. I don't know which rares are money, but you can take a look. I just know that there's a bunch of them. I can see why people are calling this Commander Legends, or rather Commander Masters, because it's a 3-color environment and there's a lot of potential commanders in here and good cards for Commander, the high mana cards. Okay, there we go. And all right, so thanks everyone for joining me. I'm off to prepare dinner and wake up the toddler. So I'll catch you guys next time, and be looking for some of these cards to be for sale / up for auction on the Lotus Council Discord. Cheers.